Hello everybody, this is Con, and today I am reviewing the Volkswagen Tiguan. So this is Volkswagen's mid-sized SUV. It's one of the brand's best-selling models in Malaysia, if not the best-selling. Okay, so it competes directly against the likes of the CR-V, the CX-5, Peugeot 3008. No shortage of rivals, simply put. Okay, so this is the second generation Tiguan. The global debut of this model took place in 2015, and this car was launched in Malaysia only in 2017, a full 2 years after its global debut. Now, last time, right, back in the day, say 15 years ago, it is not uncommon for a new car to hit Malaysian shores 1 year, 1.5, 2 years after its global debut. But these days, car makers tend to, want to speed up their new model launches in Malaysia, and usually a new car would arrive on our shores within the first year of its global debut. So why did Volkswagen take so long to launch the Tiguan in Malaysia? It is the same reason why they took as long as they did to launch the Passat in Malaysia. It is simply because, back several years back, we all know that Volkswagen was hit very badly by severe reliability issues affecting their DSGs and TSIs and giving all their cars a very, very bad rap. Okay, so Volkswagen claimed that they took that 2-year period to extensively test their cars in Malaysian conditions to ensure that they are able to run well without problems in our country. You see, the thing is that, right, all these TSIs and DSG technologies, right, they work fantastically well in smooth driving conditions. On Germany's autobahns, you can whack these things 200 kilometers per hour for 2-3 hours straight, no problems. These cars will take it. But when you subject these cars to a lot of stop-go driving, that is when things don't go a little slow, because the clutch has to rapidly engage and disengage, and every time when you take off, the car has to overcome its entire body inertia to take off, and then you have to bring it to a full stop, repeat the cycle over and over again. So stop-start traffic is really what contributes to severe wear and tear in cars, and that is, and that's one of the things that that batch of 2010, 2011 up to 2013 Volkswagens were not very well equipped to deal with. And there's also the factor of our climate. Hot temperatures plus high humidity doesn't really go well with all that heat in the engine bay. So Volkswagen claims to have tested the cars extensively against all these problems, and they assure us that the current group of cars that are being sold in our market will have significantly improved reliability. And of course, EWO, we are partners of Wern's Auto House, and behind the scenes, the technician at Wern's also tell us that there is indeed improved durability and reliability of more recent batches of Volkswagen cars. So those are not empty claims per se. Okay, so coming back to the Tiguan. In Malaysia, the Tiguan comes with only one engine combination. Okay, it is the 1.4 EA211 turbocharged TSI engine. Makes 150 PS, 250 Newton meters of torque. The predecessor model had the EA111 twin charged engine that made 160 PS. So that one was the predecessor, slightly more powerful, but this new engine has more torque. Okay, 250 Newton meters versus the predecessor's 240. Transmission, 6-speed wet dual clutch, powering the front wheels. There is no option for all-wheel drive in our market, which I feel is a bit of a waste, because I always believe that a high-powered SUV, okay, especially one with a turbocharged engine, high on torque, you should have at least the option of all-wheel drive. Okay, but that being said, as I will explain later in the video, the Tiguan, okay, even with only 2 driven wheels, handles the outputs of its engine fairly well, and you know, the chassis actually manages the weight of this car pretty superbly and gives you very confidence inspiring handling. Okay, so in terms of trim levels, the Tiguan comes in 2 trims. You have Comfort Line at about 140,000 ringgit when you plus on-road costs, and then this Highline version that I'm testing here comes with a bit more bells and whistles. This one goes for 160,000 ringgit. So in terms of price point and features and all that, it is thereabout on par with all the CX-5s, the CR-Vs, the X-Trails, and all these, you know, mid-sized monocoque SUVs. Okay, but it is unique in offering the combination of a turbocharged engine with a dual clutch transmission. The only other option of a downsized turbocharged engine in this segment now will be the CR-V 1.5. Okay, that one offers you the option of front or all-wheel drive paired together with a CVT. You also have the less spoken about but pretty decent Hyundai Tucson, okay, which gives you the choice between a 1.6 liter turbo and a 2 liter diesel, both of which are front wheel drive. Everything else in the market, okay, CX-5, the X-Trail, most of these all still rely on large capacity petrol engines, 2 liter, 2.5 liters upwards. The CX-5 gives you the option of a 2.2 diesel as well, which to me is the pick of the range. But yeah, so powertrain wise, the Tiguan gives you one of the more compelling engines of the segment. 1.4 TSI, good power, as we know this engine, good power outputs, good fuel economy, and very low road tax. Okay, on the outside, this new Tiguan, it has a more boxy look to it. It has a more boxy design compared to its predecessor. All right, you notice that the headlamps, for example, it's more angular, and you know, all this whole theme of boxiness just connects with the grille, so it gives you a very tough, very macho kind of look to the car. Okay, and they accentuate it by, you know, giving by sculpting the bonnet, okay, with this extra character lines, okay, that adds to the whole muscularity to the adds a whole dimension of muscularity to the design. And this is the Highline model, so you get LED headlights. Okay, the base Comfort Line spec gets halogen reflector headlights. Okay, now you come to the side. So the Highline model here gets 18-inch alloy wheels. Comfort Line models get 17-inch alloy wheels. Okay, and also Highline models, you get this silver finish on the upper rack. In the Comfort Line models, it's painted black, right? And as you can see from the side also, you see this character line. This is a very sharp character line running, you know, along the vehicle shoulder line, you know, cutting through the door handles. And there's another one, okay, that shadows the one up there. So it is a very expressive design contained within a rather boxy shape. Now you look the lower section of the body, you see this dark undercladdings. There's yet another sharp line running down along here as well. Okay, so you come over to the back. The back is a relatively simple look. Okay, just the wide taillight design, and unlike some Volkswagen models, the reverse camera is not hidden inside the Volkswagen logo, but just mounted here as well, which is fine. There's less one moving mechanism to break down. Okay, so the tailgate has remote opening. Okay, so the boot here, well, this does not look particularly big, but you do get split level flooring. You can just drop this floor to free up an additional volume of space. And of course here this part is compartmentalized for you to chuck in your various small items, and it's removable. Okay, this is removable. This partition is removable. And seats, the rear seat backs feature 40-20-40 split folding, which you can release remotely. Okay, to drop. Okay, now if I raise this back, raise this flat floor back, it forms a reasonably seamless loading floor. But I suppose I do need to press this down from the front later, and you get a couple of hooks here to hang your things, and plus a 12-volt charging port right at the back, and you'll get electric closing as well. Okay, let's look inside the back of the cabin. So now after pressing this down, okay, is locked. Okay, the mechanism is locked in place, and it forms a decently seamless connection with the boot floor at the back that allows you to load heavy objects, load large objects without the thing rocking about. So to release, okay, to raise it back, you have to pull this strap to release, and then this goes back up. Of course, you pull again to adjust the angle of recline. Right, let's come over to this side. Pull this lever again. Right. Okay, so here we look at the overall rear section of the cabin. Get this center armrest, just a simple molded cup holder design like this, no mechanisms, nothing. And also the seat belt, the 3-pointed seat belt for the middle passenger. Okay, it comes out from the seat back, so it means that there's no belt placement coming from the roof that you have to buckle down at one point and the others. Okay, so this seat belt here can be buckled with one action. So the ISOFIX mounts are very conveniently placed. There's not even a need for a cover, which to me is fine. Okay, I like that it is nicely exposed here, and it's neatly exposed as well. So it's very easy. So if you have an ISOFIX seat, it's very easy to locate these mounts and install your seat. Okay, and of course, here by the side here, there's this very useful compartment to drop some small items. So here the door card. This is a very deep door pocket. Okay, for which you can drop chuck a large bottle of mineral water inside there, or any other item that you so prefer. There's a speaker here. Okay, this tray, you get a foldable tray. Okay, to have a meat, you can to makan here, and also there's a slide out cup holder here, very useful. I don't recommend that you eat on the move, but perhaps at a highway rest stop, this is very, very useful. So so you have to press this snap to lower it back into position. Okay, there's another tray here as well. Right, and this is you get rear blowers. Both Comfort Line and Highline also gives you rear blowers, but only Highline models give you rear zone climate control. You get a 12-volt socket here and a USB charging port here as well. And sitting here, okay, firstly, notice that the thigh support from the seat cushion, very good. It extends all the way to the back of my knee, and the rear seats also offer recline adjustment, which is useful. Okay, I can sit upright. There's about four recline angles for me to choose from. Okay, and good headroom, good knee room as well. Okay, for your information, I'm 170 centimeters tall. Okay, let's check out the front side. Oh my god, it's raining. Let's check out the cabin. Now, before we step inside, here's the door card. You get a good mix of materials. Here's the lock and unlock switch. There's some stitching here, nice detailing, power window switches. Here's the remote trunk release, door pocket. Okay, decent sized door pocket with the speaker here. Electric seat adjustment for the driver. Alright, and yeah, so let's step inside. So here is you get like the recently updated Golf Mark 7.5 and the Passat, you get this virtual instrument clusters, which will be the first thing I explore here, right? So the adjustment of your display can be facilitated through this set of controls, which I will take you through. Now, this current display, okay, which I have chosen. So let's go through the available views. So I can cycle between the select how I want it to be displayed, right? So this is classic. Okay, it's a very this then gives you a very simple, no frills style of displaying the meter cluster, right? Or you can choose. This is a sportier gear and speed scheme, or you can choose consumption and range. I particularly like this mode because it shows you the the available range. It shows you the average consumption, and this section of the gauge here, it shows you the instantaneous fuel consumption. So as you drive, right, I'm just going to demonstrate this to you here within the short confines of this space. You will notice, that space, that gauge is moving about, showing you the instantaneous fuel consumption of the car. So you also have an efficiency display. This one maintains the fuel consumption display here, but switches the range display here to fuel as an this display here is a fuel efficiency coach designed to guide you to drive the vehicle efficiently. And then you have navigation. Now this shows you a compass. This shows you your altitude. All right, and this off-road mode here shows you the compass here and the steering angle. So as I turn the steering, notice how this one turns as well. So now I turn to the left, it shows that my wheels are angled 5 degrees to the left. Okay, and of course this middle section here, you can also choose to, you can set this to navigation. You can set this to display your car's ongoing driving data. So right now it's showing oil temperature. You can also set it to show consumption, average consumption, range, traveling time, all these various data. Of course, these few items like consumption, average consumption, range, I don't need it now because it is being shown here as well, right? Oh, okay, this is the average consumption since I last started the car, and this is the average consumption since I last reset the trip meter. Right, so this shows this the screen to show vehicle status and telephone and also audio. Yeah, so this is a full-fledged LCD display, but one thing that I would like to comment on is that I think this is a missed opportunity. Volkswagen could have used this screen to offer users a greater variety of display schematics. However way you set it, right, you can't escape this appearance of the tachometer here and this same look speedometer here. There is no variety in the theme that that you can adjust, and I think that is a missed opportunity. Because certainly, let's say like in an Audi, for example, or a BMW, you can alter, and particularly Mercedes, actually, you can change how the meters are configured to suit your mood. But no, Volkswagen's one only fixes these two gauges and just allows you to change that's being displayed here, here, and here. That's about it. Okay, so now let's take you to the touchscreen. This is an updated touchscreen system. Okay, and it has a proximity detector. So as I move my fingers near, you can see that the display changes a little in anticipation of my fingers. And yeah, so let's explore this. Got menu, and let's straight away explore the settings lah. Yep. So the display is very crisp in quality. The graphics have look very sharp. Okay, and the response of the touchscreen too is fantastically good. I particularly like that, you know, this when you let's say you want to search for your channel, your favorite channel, you know that what channel is, right? You just press roughly where is that, and then you just tune to your preferred frequency. And of course you have car, this shows your vehicle status, and tire pressure monitor, your phone and all that. So all these are touch operated. Okay, it's not specifically a screen, but it's a touch sensitive surface. And of course you have this volume and tuning adjustment as well, right? Further down here, nothing much to show. Dual zone climate control, this is exactly the same set of buttons you find in the Golf. Okay, look further down, there's a 12-volt cigarette lighter and 2 USB ports plus an aux jack. Engine start stop button located here. Electronic parking brake. And of course you've got park assist. Okay, the Tiguan Highline gives you park assist 3.0 parking sensors. And here this lid slides back to reveal this storage compartment. This is a decently sized storage compartment which will take a fair amount of items. And the best part is you can press these to reveal cup holders. Okay, so if you have drinks or whatever, you can just turn the cup holder on, and these two flaps are spring loaded. So if you have a small sized cup that or can or bottle that don't fully fit within this slot, this flap here presses them in place to ensure that they stay and not move. Okay, so to close this, press this button and push the flap back in. Right, push the flap back in, slide this back. So overall, the storage compartment solution. And then also you've got this storage compartment here as well. It's a Kosong storage compartment, but it's deep. Okay, so overall this whole center console area fairly well utilized for storage. And this armrest is slidable. Is it slidable? Yes, it's slidable. Okay, and then you get this this glove compartment which has a CD player inside here, and it's a fairly deep compartment. Right, it's a fairly deep compartment. So overall, I would say the Tiguan. Oh, and one more. There is another storage lid here as well. It's fairly deep. Okay, allow me to illustrate with my phone. My phone here. Drop it inside. Yeah. So it. Okay. Yeah. So overall, I would say the Tiguan has a very conservatively designed cabin, but it has good materials, and I like the variety of materials too, right? You see, you have this carbon fiber resembling plastic, and then you have this gloss plastic surface, then you have the soft touch plastic as well. And here there's another grain of plastic which at a glance look like it's a hard grade plastic, but it's not. It is soft. Okay, but this lid of course is hard, and here's a slight flaw. You notice that this lid and this surface don't align too properly, but the good part is that the mechanism does feel solid. So there's a little fault that we can close one eye to, not a problem. Okay, yeah. So overall, this is a very business oriented cabin. It is a functional cabin and built to an obviously high standard of materials. Not very big on flair, but certainly well built, well executed, very classy looking. Okay, now like every other Volkswagen car launched over the past 5-6 years, the Tiguan is underpinned by the MQB platform, okay, which dates back to 2012 with the Golf Mark 7 and has since been used in the Passat and Audi A3 and a number of other models like across the Volkswagen group, some sold in Malaysia, some not. Now, all these MQB cars, right, they exhibit a very consistent characteristics in that they are very good handling. They offer very good handling. They have very good comfort levels, and they are very refined. You know, in terms of when these cars move, right, you just get a sense that all the components within the car are just, you know, shoehorned and fine-tuned to a very high degree, that they are able to operate in perfect harmony with each other. Okay, in this, you get the feeling that, you know, everything in this car is functioning in perfect harmony. Okay, the chassis is very comfortable. It rides very comfortably over poor surfaces, over bumps. You get that hint of firmness from the suspension, but it soaks up just enough that you don't feel shaken. You just get a feeling of what's down there, but you don't get troubled. You don't get shaken by it. Okay. Of course, and also the other thing is that the rolling refinement of this car is excellent. The tires, okay, there's not much noise coming from the tires, and I believe this is a combination of, you know, a good selection of tires on Volkswagen part, plus very good sound deadening that is being applied throughout the car. So this car really is very quiet on the move. Whether it is in, you know, the reduction of self-generated noises or insulation from external noises, both are kept at very, very low levels. So this is a car really, right, if you're traveling on a long distance, right, this is a car really that, you know, you can spend most of that journey in perfect harmony, in perfect bliss. Yeah. And of course, we come to the handling. Okay, now not many people would buy SUVs for sports car like handling, but the Tiguan definitely is one of the better handling SUVs in the market, right up there with the CX-5 and the Ford Kuga. Okay, definitely will outhandle a CR-V for sure. Even though it has just a two-wheel drive driveline, right? The chassis actually handles the, you know, all the outputs from the engine as well as the overall weight of the car with amazing confidence that, you know, when you see a fast sweeping bend, you can step on it without having to worry that this car will lose control. And when you take a corner, okay, you are emboldened to put your power down earlier than you would in many SUVs. Okay, then of course we also come to the engine. Volkswagen engines, this is typical Volkswagen engine fare. It is small, it is powerful, it is fuel efficient. Okay, a bit of turbo lag cannot escape, but not by very, very, you know, but not by levels that hamper the driving experience. Okay, any turbocharged car that you drive sure got a bit of lag, but in this case the E211, it mitigates the turbo lag pretty well. That, you know, for most drivers, the lag is as good as not being there. Okay, as far as town driving is concerned, this 1.4 TSI is good enough for you to keep pace from traffic light to traffic light to traffic light, you know, without being left behind. Of course, when you take this thing out on the highway, when you push higher and higher and higher speeds, the engine will run out of breath simply because it lacks the capacity of bigger engines. But, you know, in town driving or in moderate speed highway driving, this engine really is good enough. Of course, in normal stop-go traffic, you're looking at, you know, at 9.5 to 10 liters per 100 kilometers of fuel consumption. But, you know, once on the move, when you're cruising along at 60 kilometers per hour, 80 kilometers per hour, no interruption, no stops, nothing, right? You are looking at, you know, ongoing fuel consumption below 6 or 7 liters per 100 kilometers. So, and it tallies back with our overall experience over the years with Volkswagen cars. Volkswagen engines generally are more efficient than most others in the market. Okay, and you know, I'm drawing back to nearly 10 years of experience road testing cars, and I can tell you consistently, when it comes to fuel efficiency, right, Volkswagen, Mazda, BMW, these three manufacturers usually give you the the most efficient engines in their segment. So in this 150k, 160k market segment, right, the Tiguan admittedly is not a first choice buy for most people. Okay, as far as if you were to ask for a recommendation from me, the CX-5 is naturally the segment's best all-rounder. Okay, we're looking at a 5-seater SUV with good driving dynamics, with great design, great interior build, decently spacious, and all the balance of all attributes, right? The CX-5 checks the most boxes for me. The CR-V is the most practical solution, okay, in that it gives you the best utilization of its interior space, and it is a trusted brand. Okay, the CR-V has been with us through many iterations. Malaysians know and trust the CR-V as a dependable family solution. Then you have, of course, the Hyundai Tucson, which is a capable product but not a top of the mind selection. So it's, as I said before, the Tucson, right? If you were to come to me and tell me, hey Con, I'm buying a Tucson, I'll tell you, go right ahead, good choice. If you were to come to me, hey Con, can you recommend me an SUV to buy, a 150k, 160k? The Tucson is not likely to be one of the first choices that come to my mind. Okay, then we have the Kia Sportage, which I have not reviewed yet, so I can't comment that much. But I understand it is a good product, definitely worth your consideration. And of course, you also have the Peugeot 3008, which the best design in the segment, best looking interior in the segment, and despite that very funky, very Changi looking design, right, you expect it to be compromised in terms of practicality. It isn't. It is actually the 3008 actually has a very well thought out interior that with a lot of clever storage solutions that you really would not expect just by looking at its design. So if you're a design oriented kind of person, you like things that look out of this world, right, the 3008 then is something that you should seriously look at. So amidst all that stiff competition, right, where does it really leave the Tiguan? Well, I would say the Tiguan is a very well-balanced product. Okay, typical of Volkswagen cars, it is very conservatively styled. The interior also is very, very conservatively laid out. And it is a car with a very conservative outlook. Okay, nothing fancy to look at, but it offers you one of the better driving experiences in the segment. It is also very strong in fuel economy. It is well packaged inside, and so despite the less than wow factor of its design, at least the cabin materials feel, it feels upmarket. This cabin looks and feels a bit of a notch higher than similarly priced Japanese rivals. In fact, if you were to turn up in this versus an equivalent Japanese, the perception is that this car costs more than your friend that arrived in one of the regular Japanese selections, except maybe the CX-5. So if you're looking for a standout feature of the Tiguan, it really is the engine and its driving experience. This pokey little engine really is one of the more capable powertrains in the segment, in that it is both punchy yet fuel efficient. Okay, and the fact that this chassis, this MQB chassis, is proven to offer excellent above average handling. Yeah, so if you are in the market for an SUV, you want something practical, you want a good driving experience, you want something with a sporty flavor into its handling, then the Tiguan is really one of your top choices. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, that concludes my views on this car. Share with me your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you like my videos, please subscribe. And until my next video, thanks for watching. Bye for now.